and welcome to Savepoint, a video game show where we talk about video game topics and stuff that you send us on the internet, on Twitter, YouTube, all that great stuff, using hashtag Savepoint. My name is Ryan Shepard.
I'm Michael Anthony.
And I'm Hunter Taylor.
So, of course, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take some topics that you suggest us, because if you don't suggest us topics, we don't have a show. So, you know.
It's all because of you guys.
I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. This is from Anthony Watkins at XXWickedSpliffX. What? Come on, you have to put the second X at the end. Why not? I'm sorry, I have a thing for symmetry. At UnderInspired, Facebook and Oculus, should we be worried? Hashtag Savepoint.
Do you know why we shouldn't be worried? Because nothing was ever going to happen with the Oculus to begin with. How's that for a response?
No,
I'm just laying the facts on you.
You're a non-believer.
If you watch the show, you know Michael really does not give a shit.
I just don't see it catching on in a mainstream mass market kind of way. I'm sure that there's definitely going to be a niche. I'm sure there's going to be a strong community behind it, but that community is small. That community makes up one small town in Rhode Island. Like, they're nothing.
Right. Well, look, even let's set aside that if you think...
Quick, I didn't call you nothing. I mean, like, numbers-wise. Like, you are not a nothing. I did not mean it that way. I understand your worth as a human.
But not even if Oculus was going to do well on its own, do you think that being acquired by Facebook will change their direction?
No.
I don't at all.
No.
Facebook does a pretty good job of letting its acquisitions do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they've done a pretty good job with Instagram. They didn't, like, turn Instagram into, like, the Facebook machine. It's still Instagram.
Yeah.
Still on that Insta.
Personally, I'm not that worried. I think that, if anything, they probably just have more funding now.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it. I will say, though, on the subject of VR, and I won't get into this too much here, I've had this conversation before, and I think VR is awesome, but you know what I think should be happening?
Mm-hmm.
I think we need a resurgence, a rebirth, a renaissance of the video game arcade, because that's the perfect place for it. Arcades are where you went to get on the dumb jet ski thing and play the jet ski game, or the car games, or the games with the big gun thing. Okay, so to have a really immersive VR experience, I think you need you need like an Oculus Rift, you need the headset, and you need like some sort of physical apparatus so they can do the walking, like the omnidirectional treadmill, or what's Razer's thing? Isn't Razer the ones that made Hydra? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, the weird system with the two-hand control weird thing like that. Yeah.
And to get a full setup would be very expensive. It'd probably cost you at least I'd say about $2,000 probably.
Exactly, but in the world of an arcade,
that's a small expense.
Exactly, people are coming in. Exactly, you're going to spend $2,000-3,000 on an old school arcade cabinet to begin with. You know what I mean? So I see. I get what you're saying, and it's a smart thing to do.
I think that's the best place for that.
Pitch the idea then.
I was honestly, I've been thinking about writing an article about it for a while now. I just haven't yet. But I think.
Are we about to go into business together? High-end arcade in Orlando?
Dude, we should do it. I think it's a wonderful idea because that makes so much sense, because it takes out the fact that the price tag is just the most I don't know, the biggest turnoff.
Yeah, it's the biggest bar to entry.
And you're bringing arcades back.
Exactly.
Literally, you're bringing them back. So like people, because most arcades close after whatever. So like I think that would draw me in, because it's not an experience you can just get at home anymore.
It's not.
I mean? So I don't know. I think that would be it. That was actually a really good idea. Like I would back that. I'd be like,
it's something I've actually put a lot of thought into, and further, not just with the virtual reality stuff, with the products like, okay, so Sony has the Move, and they have the PlayStation Eye camera, which I hear in the PlayStation 4 is massively improved. Obviously, Xbox does Kinect. I mean, Xbox doesn't have this problem so much because every Xbox One comes with a Kinect, so you kind of have to have it. But I think if you take the smaller things like the PlayStation Move and the PlayStation Eye camera, and if you had like an arcade that was fitted with that, you might go there and have so much fun with it. You're like, I want this at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it could drive sales of these peripherals, not cut them back, if the person is so blown away by the experience. So
it's possible.
All around, I think it's a great idea. I think we need to see it come back, because I actually think it'd be cheaper now to have a video game arcade than it would be 10 years ago. Or even 15 years ago.
Maybe. I don't know enough about
the
cost of running an arcade 15 years ago.
Yeah, I don't really know either. But, I mean, because all right, for instance, Microsoft, in their Microsoft stores, they usually set up an Xbox with a Kinect. But the thing is when you're in a mall, and you're not in a video game arcade, you feel pretty stupid dancing in front of a TV in a crowded mall. You don't want to do that. But if you're in a video game arcade, that's the status quo. That's okay. Yeah. You're expected to do that. Dance Dance Revolution and all that stuff. You probably wouldn't play Dance Dance Revolution in the middle of a food court. Or you might. I don't know. That's what I think about it. I'm sorry, though. That was kind of a tangent. What do you think about the whole Facebook Oculus deal?
I don't think anybody has to worry about anything. Just like you said, it seems like they just let their people have their own creative ideas and do what they want to do. So I agree. I don't think there should be any problems.
I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that answers that. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Anthony.
All right. I don't know which one do I want to pick. Which one do I want to pick? There's a big one in here, but there's two. All right, I'm gonna go big one.
Don't be a sizist.
I'm a size queen. This is Neil Games 2. Is this from Google Plus? Google Plus. Destiny, good expectations. I personally think that this game is going to make history. Okay. I just recently, on my personal Facebook account, posted something, and a lot of my friends were disappointed. And you know what I replied to them? Expectations management. You can't go around throwing sentences like, I personally think that game is going to make history.
Well, do you think you're setting the bar too high?
Don't set it too high. Don't set it too high, because then you let yourself down.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think this game is going to be good. It has a great pedigree. It really does. I don't know if it's going to make history. I really don't.
Because there's been plenty of disappointments like Brink.
Exactly.
Big disappointment.
Yeah.
I think that, I agree. I think the game's going to be really good. It just looks like it's going to be because I think one big problem I have with a lot of multiplayer games is they're straight just versus now. There's not a lot of things where you can there is a lot of games that you can play co-op with, but they're not as fun.
Yeah.
I know when Borderlands first came out, everybody was like, oh, Borderlands, just jump on and play with me and stuff like that. So I think that this will bring that feeling back. Because I know with Borderlands 2, it was kind of like that, but I think that people are kind of like, okay, it's just Borderlands, you know what I mean? You played the first one, and the second one's very similar. So I think this will definitely bring it into new light, and I think, honestly, Destiny will just do,
Where's it gonna make history?
I don't want to say, because I've been let down so many times, and I completely agree with you. You can't just say, oh, it's going to make history, but if it does, then... And that's one thing is when it meets your expectations, it feels so good. That's the problems, because if you say, oh, it's gonna be good, and then it exceeds it, it feels good too. But at the same time, if you're I know this game's gonna be great, I know it, and then when it finally comes out, and you're
you just feel vindicated.
Exactly.
I was right.
Yeah, like Max Payne 3. I was yeah, I think this game's gonna be really good, and then when I played it, I was like, you know what I mean?
Exactly, it's incredible.
I'm pretty hopeful. I have a lot of faith in Bungie as a studio. Yeah. I mean, there is some things that I worry about, the fact that they've never done a game like that. Sure, they've made wonderful shooters, but they've never made a massively multiplayer game before. So it's totally new territory for them. I know I've talked to some people, and their biggest concern is that they think it's just going to be almost like PlanetSide over again.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And PlanetSide does have a large fan base, and it has a very dedicated group of fans. But that doesn't really grip me personally. So I'm hoping it's gonna be a really fun game. I think if their approach is sticking to small group based gameplay, then it'll excel well.
Yeah.
I think the party system you'd use in World of Warcraft or something, when you stick to a 4 or 5 man team. Or,
they have that, but then occasionally you'll bump into other 4 or 5 man teams, and you guys will go up against this big event that is occurring.
Right, right. And if they can do that in an intuitive way, that I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
At least that's what I hope. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm sure the game is going to be good. Benji does have a great...
Benji the dog! Do you remember Benji?
I do.
Benji!
Bungie... No
matter how bad the game is, I'm still gonna love you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So Bungie they have a really good pedigree. They have a really, really strong team. They're really focused on their community. They've always been that way. They've always been really willing to take criticism and willing, to learn from their community. And I'm sure the game is going to be good. You don't have an all-star team like that and they put out something bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
The men's Olympic basketball team, our Olympic teams don't play bad. They are picked. They are the best of the best for the reason. You know what I mean? Bungie has some world-class developers and artists and things like that. So I'm sure on a completely structural level, that game is going to be so much fun. But I think it remains to be seen how much the multiplayer works the way they intend it to work. If the community can stay with it, because no matter how you wanna cut it, no matter what you wanna say, Call of Duty is the king. And right now, I don't think Destiny's gonna depose this king anytime soon.
Well, no, but I think it's just like. Because for Call of Duty...
It's kind of apples to oranges, I think.
Yeah,
it's
because
a very different
Destiny
system.
is more of a co-op, whereas for that's more of competitive. And for Call of Duty, you don't really see like... Well, based off my experiences, you don't see a lot of people like working together.
But what I'm saying is like Borderlands and Borderlands 2 come out, the first, 2 months, they're top 10 most played Xbox Live when you go to Larry Herb's blog. Okay, they're like the top 10 play. They might even be like the number 1 played for like 2 or 3 months, and then guess what happens? They disappear. And guess what takes its rightful place at the head of the table?
I don't know about rightful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's going to come back. It always does. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think like no one's gonna buy Destiny. I'm sure it's gonna sell gangbusters. But I don't know. I think it remains to be seen when the game comes out, if it's gonna hold a large audience for a long period of time.
What I think they'll need to do that is you need to find a very happy harmony between like core gamers and very casual players. And I think that's a barrier to entry for any MMO is the fact that it feels like an investment.
Yeah.
Even if you're not paying a monthly subscription fee, it's the fact that it's a time investment. You're like, oh man, am I like that? That's why sometimes like I want to play Skyrim, but I just can't because I know that's an investment. Like I need to put time into that. So if they can make it to where it's a lot of fun to put a lot of hours into Destiny and build up your character and a really fun end game experience, that'll be great. But it also needs to be fun to pick up and play. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what
accessibility.
Yeah, it has to be accessible. Thank you. That's the biggest thing.
I don't know. I hope that answers your question.
I hope so too. Neil, Games 2.
He games as well.
Jason O'Malley.
Joe Malley!
Malley. On Twitter. What do you think of Microsoft appointing Phil Spencer as Xbox chief?
Oh, that's a smart move. That's simple. I mean, who else? Mark Whitten, if you guys don't know, Mark Whitten just left. He was the head of Xbox. Phil Spencer is... When I think of... The same way... Well, I mean, not anymore. But the same way when you think of PlayStation, you think of Jack Tretton. You think of Shuhei Yoshida. You know what I mean? When you think Xbox, you think Mark Whitten, you think Phil Spencer, and then you think, on a smaller end, like personality-wise, you think like Larry Herb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, Larry Herb is Xbox Live's Major Nelson. Larry Herb here, Xbox Live's Major Nelson. But I think it's a smart move. It's a smart move. It is. The guy knows what he's doing. It's not like he's some nobody. They didn't just hire him from nothing, He's been with this division. He's been with this team for so long, you know what I mean? He's not unseasoned. Right. If anybody's going to keep the ship steering in the right direction or make any necessary course corrections, it's going to be someone like Phil Spencer.
Yeah, I think it was a smart choice. I think he was a good person to pick for the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So...
Is there any more thoughts beyond that? Or?
No, you guys pretty much said it.
That nailed it. You want to go for one more because that was so simple?
Yeah, I guess that was pretty straightforward. Might as well just let's go for another. All right. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I want to read it.
Okay.
This is from Black Clover Gaming, again from the Google Plus. I'm loving it, guys. You could talk about the sneak peek Ubisoft gave us of the next Assassin's Creed.
Unity.
Yeah, Unity. Let me tell you, man, I'm so down for the French Revolution.
That is a really cool period to do it. I think.
See, that's actually very interesting because, I know a lot of people were really disappointed with it being in the French Revolution.
What did they want?
Because everybody wanted...
They want feudal Japan!
No, I still think feudal Japan would have been cool.
A lot of people wanted ancient Egypt and stuff like that, and everybody was so convinced that Unity was going to be ancient Egypt, and
they flat out said that they think it's one of the stupidest places they could have put it. Mm. They were pretty blunt about it. They said they thought feudal Japan, ancient Egypt, and some other place, they were like, we think it'd be stupid to put it in that setting.
But that's apparently what a lot of the fans wanted and stuff.
Oh no, there was definitely a fan desire for that.
So I saw a lot of people saying oh, I don't think I'm gonna play this one, or I'm gonna just skip it or whatever.
It's just who says that every year? The people who buy it.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with Call of Duty. Like even people who love Call of Duty hate Call of Duty. Like this is the worst one yet. Well, did you get it? Yeah, I pre-ordered it.
Exactly. This one's gonna suck. How much? You said you hate this one, right? Yeah, I totally hate it. How much game time do you have played in multiplayer?
Oh.
I only have like 7 weeks.
But
You know what I mean?
7 weeks.
See, I actually haven't seen the sneak peek yet. Or is that is it like, what is it?
It's literally just the camera panning around places in France. There is.
I've only seen the screenshots.
Yeah, there's some stuff. The mirrored room in Versailles.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then there's some stuff
Fancy.
with like the gallows. I think you see Notre Dame in the background of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I mean, I'm so down. Chronologically speaking, a little history lesson. The French Revolution does take place after the American Revolution.
So it makes sense that they're still kind of moving forward in time.
Yes. I don't know. I'm excited. I like French as a language. That's one. And I know it's gonna sound stupid. That's one of the things I love about Assassin's Creed. That when you play the game, you have to immediately go into the options and turn on the subtitles, or else they're gonna have this conversation. You know, they're gonna have this conversation in whatever language it is, whether it be Italian or Arabic or Native American, and you're just not gonna know. That's it. Like you just don't know because you didn't turn on the credits or the subtitles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I mean, I listen to English all the damn time.
Are you gonna,
I like to switch it up.
Are you gonna play Comet too, or just Unity?
Comet is the one
That's
is
the sequel.
the rumored sequel to Black Flags. Mm-hmm. Well, we know Unity is next gen exclusive. From what I've heard, it is a next gen exclusive.
And it looks like it. It looks beautiful.
I know. It's a beautiful looking game.
Stunning.
Comet is just exclusive to 360 and PS3.
Which, that pretty much put the nails in the coffin about which one I'm going to be able to buy.
Yeah. But I mean, it also makes me worry because
if you guys don't know, I am broke.
It also, I worry a little bit just because they put a smaller team on that. You know.
On what? Comet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unity got the manpower and the
Well,
focus.
actually, no, I don't want to say that because right now they have like, and I'm exaggerating. They have like a million teams.
In every
I think that
You had to say that you were exaggerating when you said they had a million teams.
You don't know the workforce that Ubisoft has. Look,
literally, like
we actually have a million teams.
No, I'm pretty sure they have
every
like
single game because it's yearly. Every single game, they're like, we've been working on this for like the past 4 years.
Yeah, I think they have like 4 or 5 teams working on Assassin's Creed.
Singapore.
It's like a wine. Like
they have Singapore, Montreal.
Yeah.
They started all these games at the same time.
Quebec. Do they have one in Quebec?
I think they have more than 4. They have a lot of teams.
Yeah, all over the
They
place.
have a lot of them. They're not, they're for real.
So, like, for all we know, there could be like 3 other Assassin's Creed games
Exactly,
being
for all we
made
know.
at the same time.
The exact
At the
same.
same
At the
time.
same damn time. I don't know. I think I still haven't played 4 again because I'm broke and I have to weigh which games I do want to buy. And I mean, there's no doubt I'm gonna play it. That's the end. Like I play everything. If it's good, I'm gonna play it. Mm-hmm. But I just haven't got around to it. I don't know. Like one of the things I heard was like that this game's gonna have like Haytham Kenway in it. Like Comet's gonna have like young Haytham in it and all this kind of stuff. And it's like I just.
Wait, how did that have young Haytham?
Young Haytham, because that's
Frank.
Edward's son. No, for Comet.
Oh, okay. I was about
And
to
there's
say,
one thing, like,
for Unity.
I just don't care about anything for Assassin's Creed 3. Just absolutely, like, they could put so much backstory into Haytham as a character, and it would not redeem that game. It's like, hey, let me, 4-hour tutorial, and for the first 3 of those 4 hours, you're not even playing the main character. You're playing as Haytham.
I still like Assassin's Creed 3. I just think that I did think that was too ridiculous, but at the same time it was taking turns that you didn't know where it was gonna go. But
no, it did. Like I remember when it was like, oh, Haytham's a Templar. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, good thing they dropped that note and I don't care about it anymore. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, wow, that's one twist.
Not to
now for
mention-
another 400 hours of gameplay.
Actually, not to mention that the tutorial technically still kept going because you played
they kept going.
Connor to teenage Connor to still growing up kind of annoying Connor. Like it didn't let you like really go out.
Yeah,
until like a good 6 hours.
Exactly.
And
That's
then
brutal.
Like we haven't played Assassin's Creed. Like we haven't played that before.
I have nothing to add to this. I didn't even play 3.
No.
But
because I don't think 3's bad. I just think 3 is easily the weakest of all of them.
I wouldn't say it's a weakness. I think Revelations was the weakest though.
No.
Yeah, I like 3.
Revelations is
because the opening to 3 was amazing.
What do you mean?
The opening, like the actual beginning of the game was really good. Not the first, not like all the gameplay and stuff. I'm talking about like when you go into the theater and stuff like that. and then after that you go into the
Oh,
ship.
yeah.
I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then once it actually got
But like, that's
to
the thing. That's the thing. Like, if they had did that, I'd have been like, "Wow, that's so cool." Guess what? They do that for like 15 minutes, and then they smack you with some boring stuff. It's like,
yeah,
hey,
Unity looks pretty cool.
look at all the conventions we're about to break. No, we're just kidding. Have fun with the tutorial.
I like Assassin's Creed 3. I thought it was stronger than Brotherhood, even though I like Brotherhood, and I thought it was stronger than Revelations. I still think Revelations was my least favorite, but I still really liked it, and I think the soundtrack was one of the best.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, but let bygones be like
because
be bygones.
the ending to Connor's story was good.
Ish.
It was good. Like Desmond's story wasn't that good, but like
Okay.
Connor's story itself was good.
I don't know.
It ended very epically.
I don't know if we've talked about this on camera, but I know we've talked about this off camera. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert for Assassin's Creed 3.
No, I think we have.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have.
Okay. Hire better writers.
I think we should leave it at that.
Gosh.
Spoiler alert, buy better writers.
Yeah, get better writers. You guys have so much money and so many teams.
I think that about wraps it up.
Yes.
I think that's a good note to end it on. Thank you so much for joining us at Savepoint. Like the video, comment, subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Leave us suggestions for the next episode of Savepoint. And we'll see you next time, guys.